Hi guys, Miss Pyro here. If you've gotten this far, I want to thank you for logging on, and I hope everyone is doing well. And I'm going to try my best to make this as much like if we were in class as possible. So today we're going to be learning the first part of the rock cycle. So our standard today is that you should be able to construct an explanation of how to classify rocks by their formation and how rocks can change through the geologic processes in the rock cycle. So today we're only going to focus on the processes that change the rocks and how they are formed. So your ticket out the virtual door is number 1, that you should be able to list the 3 types of rocks. You should be able to explain the different processes that can change rocks. And so I want you to get out the set of notes titled The Rock Cycle, Unit 5, Lesson 6. I passed this out in class on Friday if you were there. If not, you can print that off the website. And if you get to the end of this lesson and you don't understand it, please know that it does correspond with pages 456 through 459 in your science book if you want to get any more information on it. So what is rock? The solid parts of Earth are made almost entirely of rock. Scientists define rock as a naturally occurring solid mixture of one or more minerals that may also include organic matter. Now, we know that minerals cannot contain any organic matter, but rocks can, and they often do. Rock has been an important natural resource as long as humans have existed. And early humans even used rocks as tools. In this case, you can see a picture of a rock being used as a hammer. We've also used rock to build the Great Pyramids of Giza. This is an example of limestone rock that they used. So it's used a lot, and we can find it almost every place on Earth. So what changes rock? So weathering, erosion, and deposition definitely change rock. So the process by which water, wind, and ice, and also changes in temperature, when they break down rocks, it's called weathering. So in weathering, it breaks down the rock into sediments. The process by which sediment is moved from one place to another, that's called erosion. So erosion moves the sediment. So we've got rocks that have broken down into little pieces, that's weathering, and erosion moves that. Water, wind, and ice and gravity can erode the sediments. And these sediments are usually deposited in a new location. Lots of times it's near a body of water or an other low-lying area. And the process by which sediment comes to rest is called deposition. So let's talk about temperature and pressure. So rocks that are buried can be squeezed by the weight of the rock or the layers of sediment that are on top of it. As the pressure increases with depth beneath Earth's surface, so does the temperature. And we know that because we learned about all the different layers of the Earth. We know that it gets hotter the closer we get to the core. So if the temperature and the pressure are high enough, the buried rock can change into metamorphic rock. And in some cases, that rock gets hot enough to melt and it forms magma or molten rock. If the magma reaches Earth's surface, we know that that's called lava. And then the magma or lava eventually cools and then it solidifies to form a new rock. So on our notes, we know that buried rock is what can change into the metamorphic rock when it's exposed to the extreme heat and pressure. And we know that melted rock, we can call that magma if it's inside of Earth, and lava if it has reached Earth's surface. That can cool into new rocks as well. So what are the classes of rocks? So rocks fall into three major classes based on how they form. So igneous rocks form when magma or lava cools and hardens to become a solid. And that can happen below Earth's surface or on top of Earth's surface. Sedimentary rock forms when those sediments that are caused by erosion get pressed or cemented together. They form when minerals that form from solutions or sediment from older rocks gets pressed and cemented together. Metamorphic rock forms when pressure, temperature, or chemical processes change an existing rock. So each class can be further divided based on the differences in the way rocks form. For example, some igneous rocks form when lava cools on Earth's surface, and others form when magma cools deep below Earth's surface. So therefore, igneous rock can be classified based on how and where it forms. So let's talk a little bit more about igneous rock. So as that cools, based on how long it takes to cool, the longer it takes, the larger the crystals can grow. And we have two different types of igneous rock. As I said before, some of them cool beneath Earth's surface. We call those intrusive igneous rocks. And when they come up through Earth's surface and become lava, and then they cool down, we call those extrusive igneous rocks. So let's talk a little bit more about the sedimentary rocks. So sedimentary rock are composed of minerals formed from solutions or sediments from older rock. As you can see in this picture, there's lots of little things that are in this rock. And remember, some of these might have been living at one time. So sedimentary rock forms when the weight from above presses down on the layers of minerals or sediments. When minerals get dissolved in water, they can solidify between the sediment pieces, and that's what kind of cements that together. At the beginning of this video, we saw a picture of the pyramids, and those were actually made of a sedimentary rock called limestone. And the way that limestone is made is kind of interesting. It's, if you think back to our Mystery Minerals lab, do you remember calcite, the one that we did the acid test on and it bubbled? Limestone is formed from calcite being compressed, and we call it limestone, and that's what they made the pyramids out of. Okay, and if we talk a little bit more about metamorphic rock, metamorphic rock forms when high temperatures and pressure change the texture and the mineral content of a rock. So for example, a rock can be buried in Earth's crust where the temperatures and pressure are very, very high, And over millions of years, that rock can change and new crystals can be formed. So metamorphic rock can be changed in several different ways. So it can be changed by pressure alone. It can be changed by temperature alone, or it can be changed by temperature and pressure together, or it can also be changed by fluids or other chemicals. So this is an example of a metamorphic rock. There are many more examples which we'll talk about later. So for your ticket out the virtual door, I hope that by listening to this, you are able to list the 3 different types of rocks, and I hope that you are able to explain the processes that can change rocks. So if you will, push pause, and I want you to think about those things and make sure that you can do that. And once you can, push play and we'll finish up the lesson. So here are the answers to your ticket out the virtual door. I hope that you knew that the 3 different types of rocks are sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous. And the processes that can change rocks are weathering, erosion, deposition, and of course temperature and pressure. All these things contribute to the rock cycle, which is what we will learn about in our next lesson. So what I would like you to do now that we are done with this PowerPoint is log on to Quizizz.com, and I've provided different codes for each period. So if you are in my first period class, I want you to use this code, second period this one, third period this one, and fourth period this one. This will make it easier for me to pull your scores and see how you do. So you are welcome to take these quizzes as many times as you want to get the score that you want. Okay, I will only record the highest score that you have. So take your time with those and make sure it's a good score. So, and please make sure to use your real name first and last. That will make it much easier for me. So hope you enjoyed this first video lesson. I hope that I can make them a little better as we go on, but I hope you guys are doing well, and please email me. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're having any trouble with anything, please email me. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.